Good afternoon. Welcome to today's Lunch and Learn. My name is Christy Ragone, and I am one of the product specialist team leads here at Can-Am Systems. In today's Lunch and Learn, we are super excited to give you a sneak peek at Can-Am Systems Proven Dry Logs. Proven Dry Logs was designed and created with restoration field team members in mind. The Dry Log tool enables your restoration technicians to enter in dry log information while on a job site, such as room dimensions, percentage affected, moisture points, equipment information, and psychrometrics, all while this information is sent back to your Proven Jobs web system. This, of course, allows all team members involved to have more accurate information in a real-time format and creates needed efficiencies. Before we get started, as with all of our Lunch and Learns, I just want to touch base on a few housekeeping items. All attendees, of course, have been muted during today's session to cut down on background noise. We also recommend that all videos are turned off during today's session to avoid any distractions. This session's recording will be available via our PSA help library in addition to our company's YouTube channel. Questions can be entered directly into the Zoom chat box at any time during today's session, and I will review those questions at the end of this meeting. If we happen to run out of time and your question has not been addressed during the session, I will reach out to you directly. Again, I want to thank each and every one of you for attending today's Lunch and Learn, and let's go ahead and get started. For our agenda today, I'm going to start off with reviewing the Proven Dry Logs in the Proven Jobs mobile application and walk you through chamber creation on the mobile app. Then we will move on to creating your rooms and room dimensions along with applying that percentage affected. Then take a look at creating our moisture points, applying our equipment outputs, then moving on to our psychrometrics. Then we will take a look at how all that information is viewed and managed in our Proven Jobs web system and review our dry log reporting, and then answer any questions that you all may have. Prior to utilizing Proven Dry Logs, your company administrator will need to set up specific items in company settings and user role security. This information will be covered in detail within our Proven Academy courses or upcoming release notes, as well as our Proven Help library prior to our official release. This is the same information that will be placed in 3 convenient locations for our users. Proven Dry Logs was designed with the restoration field team member in mind, in which the mobile application helps guide the user through the phases of the drying process while on site, from drying chamber creation all the way to the equipment output entry. Company administrators will need to enable dry logs within company settings within the job type setup to allow for dry logs to display within these specific jobs. Upon logging in to the Proven Jobs mobile application and into a job file, job types that have been enabled with dry log functionality will display a new water droplet icon in the lower banner of the screen. When I select the Dry Logs icon, it will automatically open to the chamber creation screen, allowing me to create a new drying chamber. To create a new chamber, select the plus icon beside the Add Chamber. This will open a chamber creation window. Here I can enter in chamber details such as my chamber name and apply information to that chamber such as my category, my class of loss, my substrate, my insulation type, etc. In the lower section of my chamber, as I start entering in room information and outlining the percentage affected in those rooms, it will start creating a total amount of affected areas in that chamber. Once I select Save, the system will ask me what I want to do. Do I want to go to the main chamber menu, or do I want to go to the next task in the drawing process, which is creating our rooms inside the chamber? Now, at any given point, the user has the option to select the main menu icon. This will always take the user back to the main chamber dashboard. Here, they can select any of the 4 main dry log sections that they wish to go to and hop to that section by tapping to open. But for today's training, we are going to continue on as this is a new loss. For today, we are going to select Save again, and then we are going to navigate to the room dimensions. Now within the room dimensions section, I can create my rooms within the drawing chamber and the associated room dimensions. Room dimensions can be created from either a manual addition or by adding a room within the Proven Jobs web system. I will review both options. To manually apply a room inside a chamber, I'm going to simply type in the room space beside room. Once I have entered in the room name, I will simply select the plus icon to add that room to the chamber. You will notice once the plus icon has been selected that it will automatically add it to the chamber, and then the room dimensions will display below. Here I can enter in the length, width, height, and percentage affected. Users can toggle the percentage affected in the lower section. Now, if I wanted to add a room to the room dimensions from rooms that were added via Proven Jobs web system, I can select the magnifying icon in the upper section of the screen. By selecting this, it will display a list of rooms that already reside in the system. Simply tap to select, and it will also display the room dimensions for me to enter. Here again, I can utilize the percentage affected toggle to apply my room affected. If I applied a room to my room dimensions list and I did not enter satisfactory room dimensions, it will display with an exclamation point within the room list. To navigate to your entire room list, tap on the room name to display. Once you have entered in all your room names, select Save. Once I have entered in my room dimensions and the affected areas at my loss location, I can now enter in the associated moisture points in my affected areas. The system will ask me where I would like to go. I am going to select moisture points. Before we dig in to our moisture points section, let's speak a bit about these operational icons in the top section of the screen, as they are used in the same fashion and not only moisture points, but also in our Psychrometrics and equipment output section. Now again, our manuals and courses cover this in detail, but I did want to touch base on this today. When I log in to the mobile app and into the moisture point section, it will display the current date and day of the week. You will notice it in the orange icon in the left-hand panel of the screen. If I select the calendar icon, it will display a calendar selection date. The front and back arrows allow the user to navigate through moisture points that have already been entered into the system. The calendar with a checkbox indicates the current date and time date selection. If I select the room indicator with the arrow down, this will display all rooms within my chamber. When a room is selected, it will add the moisture point to that associated room. In the upper section of the screen, the plus icon will display a new moisture point. To add a new moisture point, I will select the plus icon. Once selected, it will display a new moisture point entry screen for the upstairs shared bedroom, as that was the room that I was residing on. I'm going to enter in the moisture point for that room. Once I enter in a material selection For the associated moisture point, you will notice a drying standard has automatically populated. The system comes with a preset amount of drying materials and their standards. You, as a company administrator, can enter in additional drying materials in company settings. You will notice in the upper section of the screen that the drying material moisture point that I entered is indicated in red, as it has not met the drying standard that was set in company settings. Once that standard has been met, the system will modify that highlight to green, indicating that the moisture point has met its standard. The user can enter in a description of the moisture point location and can take a camera snapshot of the location for their records. If the user has additional moisture points in other rooms that they need to enter, select the room list, select the room, and then add a moisture point. They can continue doing this for each room in the chamber. You will notice a copy paper icon located beside the delete function. If you needed to duplicate a moisture point at a job site location, you can do so. This will repeat all the information within the moisture point other than the actual moisture point reading itself. You will also notice in the upper band underneath the moisture points title that the user can toggle between different chambers. To toggle, simply select the chamber name and tap to select. It will carry the user out of the existing chamber into the other chamber listed on the job file. Once you have entered in all moisture points residing at that job site location or within the defined chamber, select Save. Once Save is selected, the system will ask me the next phase in the drying log process where I would like to go, and I'm going to select Psychrometrics. Once we navigate to the Psychrometrics screen, you will notice that the upper section of this screen looks exactly like our moisture points entry screen. We are going to enter in new Psychrometrics for our drying chamber. I'm going to select the plus icon to display the Psychrometrics entry screen. Please note that temperature entry settings are defined within the mobile app settings menu option, in addition to the company settings of your company's database. Once your Psychrometrics have been entered for that particular day, select Save. Now we will navigate to our equipment output section. Equipment output can be entered one of two ways. Either by utilizing the equipment transfer option that uses our equipment transfer scan or selection functionality from our mobile application or Proven Jobs web, or by manually applying it within the chamber. If I had utilized the equipment transfer option either by Proven Jobs web or from the mobile application, the equipment will either be residing on the job site location, or I could download the equipment using the download icon to confirm. When I select the current room that has the equipment residing on it from the room selection, it will automatically display the equipment residing on it due to me using the equipment transfer option. Here I can enter in the temperature and RH. It will automatically calculate the GPP. The current date and time will automatically display. To select another room in the drying chamber, tap. To add a piece of equipment to that particular room from a manual application, select the plus icon. It will display all the equipment in your current equipment list. Here, again, you can enter in the temperature and relative humidity. Once all information has been entered, select Save. Once your equipment output has been entered successfully, it will carry you back to the main chamber details home screen. We have just completed our first walkthrough at our job site location let's take a look at what a second day at a job could look like. I have navigated to my Ray Stark test job, and I have selected my dry logs icon. Now, in this particular job, I have 2 drying chambers, an upstairs and a downstairs chamber. You will notice that each of these chambers has a pencil icon. When selected, it will allow me to open up those chambers to navigate to the main home screen in the chamber. Each of these items within the chamber allows me to select it and open it to add additional details. For example, if I select room dimensions, I could modify, add additional rooms, or modify affected areas if needed. Now, within this room dimension section, I have arrows in the upper and lower sections of this screen. I could select the arrow to the left to navigate me back to the main chambers screen, or if I am in the room dimension screen and I select the bottom right arrow, it'll take me to moisture points, which again is the next section within our dry logs functionality. Now you will notice within this moisture points section, and then I select the back arrow to a previous date, and I select the associated room that contains a moisture point for that previous date. It will display within my screen. This allows me to see previous moisture points that are residing on the job file. I can also take that moisture point and copy it if needed. You will notice that the current date and time has automatically populated in the upper section of the screen to allow me to enter in a moisture point. If you have multiple chambers residing on a job site, you can simply tap the chamber selection to toggle between chambers. Let's talk about how all this information rolls up and is managed within our Proven Jobs web system. Within the Proven Jobs web system and within the Ray Stark test job that we have been working in, you will notice that I have a new Dry Logs tab appearing on my job. Here, just like my mobile application, I can see my drying chambers that I created on the mobile app. To open and view the details within that drying chambers, select Edit. Here, I can see all the same information that was entered within the mobile application, such as the chamber name, the category and class, the substrate, the insulation, etc., along with the total area and volume that was entered from the room dimensions. In addition, I can see different tabs such as room dimensions, moisture points, psychrometrics, and equipment output. Each tab will display the information that was entered in on the mobile application. Please note that users can utilize the Proven Jobs web system in the same capacity as the mobile application. I could create a new chamber from the web system. I could add additional rooms from the web system, along with room dimensions. When entering in room dimensions on the web, I can simply tab through as I'm entering along. Add additional moisture points if needed. Here I can tell the system what moisture point, the area, and where it is located, just like I can on the mobile application. And the same with Psychrometrics, and the same with equipment output. I can add equipment, select my equipment from a drop-down list, unless it has already been transferred there from equipment transfer. Assign it to a room, enter in the equipment temperature output and RH. Once your job site location has completed its drying process, we do have reporting available. When print is selected, it will populate our dry log reporting. Our reporting encompasses operational details regarding loss information, property information, as well as providing graphical representation regarding your psychrometrics and drying chamber information. The report also displays all chamber information that was entered, in addition to all included chamber rooms, as well as the related information. You will also notice that all moisture points Any captured photos, as well as psychrometrics and equipment output, has also been included. In addition to our dry log reporting, we do have sync history that is available within our mobile application. This history is available on each user's device and allows the user to pull up dry logs that have been reported and have synced back to proven jobs. The sync history is again available on each user's specific device by navigating to the Sync Info section, selecting History. Then you can see dry logs associated with each day by selecting Dry Log. Once selected, you will notice that the system shows me each recorded dry log associated with each job file. We want to thank every one of you for attending today's Lunch and Learn. We will now open the chat box for any questions that you all may have.